Hey, what's up everyone? It's me Pratima back again with another video, and today I'll talk about the best smartphones that you can get for under 20,000 rupees in India or some $300. I think right now is the best time to get a smartphone in this price range because almost all the brands have launched their offerings recently, and you can also get some good discounts on last year's models. But in this list, I will only be focusing on recent launches because older devices will not provide software updates in the future. But still, if you want to know what older devices are available at good prices, I will link them in the description below. Now, let's get started. But something you have to know is that this year, almost all the devices that have launched in the sub 20,000 price range feature sort of balanced specs, and none of them can be categorized as performance-centric or camera-centric. All phones kind of have generic specs and mostly differ in terms of experience, so I have not given them a particular ranking. This video just features my top picks. Okay, with that, the first device on my list is the Samsung Galaxy A24 4G. Now, this phone has not launched in India yet, but it is expected to launch very soon. And although this is not a 5G device, it does feature some really interesting specs. First off, it comes with a nice looking design which is very similar to the Galaxy A34 and A54. It is not as bulky as the Galaxy A14 and hence feels really good on the hands. On the front, you get a quality AMOLED screen that's bright and responsive, and to top off the experience, Samsung has made sure to include decent haptics and 90Hz refresh rate too, so interacting and typing on it feels great. With the MediaTek Helio G99 chipset on board, the performance on the Galaxy A24 is fairly good too. So using this phone is not going to be as slow as something like the Galaxy A14 5G, that I can tell you. Even the cameras here are not bad. It has a 50 megapixel camera with OIS that clicks decent pictures both during daylight and low light conditions. But the other two 5 megapixel ultra wide and 2 megapixel macro lenses are just okay, not too bad. But overall, the primary camera will offer you good output most of the time. Plus, Samsung is great with updates, and with this phone, you get 4 years of OS and 5 years of security updates, which none of the brands provide at this price segment. The only things that I don't like about this phone are the thick bezels it has, especially on the chin, and the fact that it has a teardrop notch makes it look like a device from 2020. And of course, the biggest downsides here is that it does not have 5G, and you don't get a charger inside its box, which will add up to the cost. Now, if you're someone who cares about having 5G on their phones, need better performance, thinner bezels, then the IQOO Z7 5G is a phone that you should definitely consider. In terms of updates, you're not getting as many as Samsung, but IQOO has promised 2 years of OS and 3 years of security updates here, which is not bad per se. Apart from that, like the Galaxy A24, there is a nice 90Hz AMOLED screen on this device. Its performance with the Dimensity 920 is one of the best in the 20,000 price bracket, and I found its haptics to be pleasant too. And although IQOO has skipped an ultra-wide sensor here, you can expect decent results from its primary camera. You also get 4K 30fps recording with decent stabilization here, so I am really happy about that. Plus, you get a 44-watt charger inside its box, which charges this phone quite fast. Design-wise, it looks really sleek, and it's actually one of the most handy phones that I've used in recent days. But there certainly are some things that I wish were better on this device, first of which has to be the way its camera handles human subjects. Like portraits and selfies from this phone are simply not good, and its cameras are not consistent in all kinds of lighting scenarios. Also, like the Galaxy A24, it only has a single speaker whose output is just okayish. Lastly, FontTouch OS is not the most fun. I certainly wish it looked better and cleaner too, which is where my next recommendation comes in, which is the OnePlus Nord CE3 Lite. For me, Oxygen OS is still one of the cleanest UIs, and OnePlus has made sure to optimize it well on the Nord CE3 Lite. It is powered by an older Snapdragon 695 chipset, which is not as powerful as the Dimensity 920, but it is still decent enough to handle normal everyday tasks and even some multitasking. The Nord CE3 Lite provides good battery backup too. In fact, all the phones in this price range have good battery backup. Apart from that, the Nord CE3 Lite also does not have an ultra-wide-angle camera, but during daytime, the phone's primary 108 megapixel camera clicks some awesome pictures, and unlike the IQOO Z7, it can handle human subjects well. Plus, you also get stereo speakers here that sound better than the Galaxy A24 and the IQOO Z7. OnePlus has also focused on the experience side a bit more, as they have included a good vibration motor on the Nord CE3 Lite. Having said that, I am a bit disappointed with OnePlus for not bringing a lot of changes on this device in comparison to its predecessor. They are basically the same device. I think this phone would have been one of the best offerings if OnePlus had provided an AMOLED screen here instead of an IPS LCD one. It's not a bad quality LCD screen, but in terms of contrast and black levels, an AMOLED screen is always better than an LCD panel. My other recommendation also would be the Realme 10 Pro, which is basically a rebranded version of the Nord CE3 Lite, and you're going to get a very similar experience with both the devices. Next, if you are a fan of stock Android, the Moto G73 is one of the good options under 20,000 rupees in India. In fact, this phone is available for just 17,000 in India right now. And for the price, if you look at its performance, the Moto G73 features the new Dimensity 930, which is a newer version of the Dimensity 920. With this, the phone is plenty fast and smooth thanks to the well-optimized 120Hz refresh rate screen. Its cameras are also decent for the price. I would say that it's not as good as the Galaxy A24 or the OnePlus Nord CE3 Lite, but it's acceptable for the price. Its stereo speakers sound nice enough, and you can also expect good battery life here. I am also quite fond of its design, although it is plastic built just like other options in this list, but it has a nice look, it's lightweight and feels really good to hold. The aspects where Motorola has basically cut a bit of corners are in terms of display and haptics. The vibration motor on the Moto G73 is quite buzzy, and its display is not the best in its price segment. It also has an LCD screen like the one on the OnePlus Nord CE3 Lite, but its quality is not as good. Okay, the final devices that I would recommend are a couple of options from Redmi and Poco. The Redmi Note 12 5G and the Note 12 4G are both good options, along with the Poco X5 under 20,000 Indian rupees. All these devices feature nice AMOLED screens with 120Hz refresh rate. They have decent looking designs with boxy form factor, same 5000 mAh batteries with 33 watt fast charging, etc. The only significant difference is the chipset, where the Note 12 5G has the Snapdragon 4 Gen 1, while the Note 12 4G comes with Snapdragon 685 and the Poco X5 features Snapdragon 695. Cameras across all these devices are decent for the price, and haptics are not bad in all of them. But then again, the Note 12 4G comes with Android 13 out of the box, while the other two still feature Android 12, which is something of a downside in my opinion. And even in general, I think MIUI kind of needs a revamp, and Xiaomi needs to work on its update policies too. Alright guys, these were my top picks for the best phones that you can get for around 20,000 rupees right now. I will be back with other similar videos too, where I will talk about phones in other price ranges. So make sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon. For now, it's me Pratima signing off. Thanks so much for watching.